Hello and welcome back to my mom's basement, ladies and gentlemen. It is Robbie Fox, and I am here with the legend, Quinton Rampage Jackson. We're here to talk about Triad Combat II, which is a foreign combat sport to a lot of people, this new Triad combat system. So, Rampage, to begin, can you just explain what this is to everybody? It says my listeners that may not know.
Oh man, this is like, in my opinion, I think this is like one of the most exciting comeback sports around. They put in boxers versus MMA guys, and a new like in a new cage ring triad
It's a
thing.
triangle. It's literally a
It's a
small
triangle.
triangle. Yeah.
Yes, it's a small triangle, and with like 8 ounce gloves. They're like basically the MMA gloves that MMA fighters use to spar.
Hmm.
This is what we spar in because we don't want to spar in like the little 4 ounce gloves. So we put on the little bit bigger gloves with a little bit more padding so we can punch each other and still grapple and everything. And they kind of like mix the rules up a little bit where you can do dirty. It's basically dirty boxing with a spinning back fist and a Superman punch where you can kind of like grapple a little bit. It's very exciting. If you guys missed the first triad, you guys really missed out. I would suggest that you guys go back and try to watch the first one. I don't know how you can do that. I don't know if it's up on the
I'm sure you could do it
on.
on Triller. I'm sure they got it
Yeah, I'm
on there.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, to go and check it out. Every fight was so exciting. Every fight, and so I'm expecting for that to be the same way for this next event they got coming up.
And it's not just the fights, right? It's like a show as well. They got Metallica playing and they got Nick Cannon hosting and they had Fat Joe there last time. And it's a whole big shindig.
Yeah, yeah, it was very exciting. I was very impressed. I had no idea what to expect. I've seen Triller and stuff like I've seen people, them putting on shows, but I'd never been to one, right? And I was very impressed. Yeah,
Yeah.
the only people that I've seen even come close to what they've done was Pride back in the day. Excuse me, and they blew Pride out of the water. It
Wow.
was it was like a very impressive event.
I saw some interviews with you afterwards, and I saw Ariel Hawani ask you if you were a Metallica fan, and you said not really. So let me ask you, if you could place anyone you wanted in that place, let's say as the guest performer, who would Rampage Jackson's pick be?
I probably would pick. I'm from Memphis, so I pick like DJ Paul and Juicy J, and a lot of the Memphis rappers.
What's the best concert you've ever been to?
Oh man, I'm not a big music buff. I haven't been to many concerts, but I can say back in the day I used to have a big crush on Beyonce, so I went to one of her concerts. As soon as she got married to Jay Z, I kind of like lost my crush on her, so I haven't been back. But the most remember concert, that's probably like one of the only concerts I've been to was Cardi B. I had a lot of female friends that wanted. I mean, not Cardi B. I said Beyonce. I had a
Beyonce.
lot of female friends that wanted to see her, and I wanted to see her. And I went because I met Beyonce once in my hometown in Memphis after I won the belt. So I was a real big fan of hers.
What was that like meeting her after you won the belt?
Man, it was cool. It was unexpected. I was in Memphis and they wanted me to come to the FedEx Arena. That's like, the big arena in Memphis where they put on the events and where you know, they have all the games and stuff. And they was like, "Oh, we want you to take a picture with Beyonce with the belt." And so they put the belt on me and I walked in there, and as soon as Beyonce saw me walking in the room with her, I think she had like somebody with her, a best friend, or I don't know who she was, the girl I didn't recognize it. Beyonce bust out laughing at me and she whispered something to the girl, kind of made me feel uneasy. And then Beyonce, she was like, why are you walking around with that big belt on? I'm like, oh, come on, I'm from here and I just won this belt. And they wanted me to take a picture with you with the belt on. She's like, oh, okay. Then you understand. But it made me instantly shy right there now. She did that.
I mean, it's Beyonce. How could it not? Yeah.
Right. She was stunning in person. This is my first time seeing her in person. I'm like, wow, stunning.
You mentioned Memphis, and when I put the call out for questions, for fan questions for this interview, one of the ones that I got was if Memphis is the undisputed king of barbecue, who is number two in your eyes?
Wow, that's a good question. Man, I think I had some good barbecue. I think I was in Carolina somewhere.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think I was in Carolina, but I think some people will argue like what St. Louis, wouldn't they?
a lot of people like St. Louis barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we will argue and say St. Louis.
All right, that's fair. Shout out St. Louis. The first Triad show, you went back and forth a lot with Shannon Briggs. This was a big rivalry. You guys were duking it out. I mean, there was even talk of you guys fighting. Yeah, I remember there was talk of it happening in December. Then there was talk of it maybe happening in March. Do you think this is still on the table? Is something you want to do?
Yeah, I really want to fight Shannon. I have to shut this guy up. He talks too much. He's a big troll. And so my manager has been going back and forth with Triller, and we trying to get it for May, pending on Shannon old ass passing a physical.
Oh,
So
there you go.
so
Yeah.
so he's very confident that he can pass the physical because he said Mike Tyson and Holyfield been fighting for them, and they're he said they're older than him. He just look older. Shannon looks way older than Mike Tyson and Holyfield put together. He got that gray ass Billy Goat, beard on his face, and he's like a Chris. He's like a chocolatey Chris Kringle dog. He just old looking.
Ruthless. I mean, you're ruthless on Instagram too. You don't let this guy get a break every day trolling him.
Well, you know what? I'm about to give up on that because if he posts a bunch of bullshit about me, I post one. I come back with one, and then he got like 10 posts just dragging me through the mud, and I just can't keep up. And I was like, I'm not. I'm petty. I'm petty with stuff like that. I'm like, nah, I can't. Stupid. This guy too old to be acting like that. He need to grow the fuck
Rampage,
up.
you can't lose the meme war. You got to win the meme war.
Is no stopping with that guy. I come back with some belters, some killer ones. I come back with some real good ones, and he just don't stop. He'll recycle ones that he already used before. It's just
Yeah.
no stopping this guy.
Goes back to the playbook, plays the hits.
Yeah, it's no winning me more with that guy. I'm in I'm in a meme war with him. I'm in the Instagram. I'm in the IG war with Congo. It's like,
Yeah.
me and Congo have been going back and forth for years. I got two guys like coming for my neck. You know what I'm saying? Like embarrassing the hell out of me. Congo be getting me with all the fat jokes, and then Shannon keep photoshopping my face on fat chicks. I can't catch a break. What you laughing at?
Well, it's tough. It's I get it. Sometimes you get memed. I get memed all the time. Look at me, obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
and you in your mom's basement. And I can see that. I can see that.
People post the pictures of me. Oh, this is the guy talking about fighting this guy right here. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Looking back at your career now, do you have a favorite win? Do you have one that sticks out above all others?
Yeah, my first time knocking Vanderlei Silva the fuck out in UFC. That was my favorite fight to date. I knew I could beat this guy. I fought him both times he beat me. I was winning the fight. And the first time, Pride helped him out. They stood me up when I was grounding and pounding him. It was in that tournament. I had just beat Chuck Liddell 45 minutes before. And then the second time I fought him, I was kicking his ass. And then he got me. He rocked me. He got me, and he just knocked me out with a knee. And I was like, he got, it's MMA. Anything can happen. I just knew I could beat this guy. And then when I finally had the perfect training conditions, everything was perfect camp. I trained with Mark Kinney. He's an amateur boxing coach out of the UK, one of the best amateur boxing coaches I've ever seen. And he worked on my left hook. And he called it hook. Get with that hook. And again, I turned it over like this, he said, like an amateur hook instead of normal hook like this. He had me turn it over like this when I landed it. He was out before he even hit the mat. He was instantly like, as soon as he hit, he was out, and I was like, wow, that was my most favorite fight to date.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And now your son's fighting, right? And you cornered your son. So how do the
Yeah,
nerves compare to you stepping in the cage yourself and you watching your son fight from the corner?
man, it's some crazy shit because my son his first amateur fight. I kind of wanted to handpick his opponent, but I didn't have they didn't let me. They didn't let me because it's my son, right? You kind of like you want your son to. It's hard to explain. I wanted to pick it. I wanted to pick his fight, but I didn't have the liberty to. My son picked this fight, and he wanted to fight this cat, and this cat was tough. He had already. it wasn't his debut. He had just beat some guy like a couple weeks prior, like a month prior or something. And I told my son, I saw the video, I was like, son, this kid's tough. My son like, oh, I don't care. I just want to fight. He's an amateur, don't count on my record. So going into that fight and cornering my son, like, or leading up, you don't know what's going to happen. Like in a fight, like if you fought before, you don't know what's going to happen. You can prepare for, everything, the worst, and anything can happen, and you don't know what the other guys got coming, especially at that level. And my son went out there and he fought well. He showed a lot of heart. He got put in a really tight guillotine choke early in the first round, and he could have tapped, and nobody would have thought nothing of it. It would have been like, oh, so he got tapped out of it. But he fought out of it. And I was like, wow, my son fought out of that guillotine. A lot of people would have tapped. I probably would have tapped. And who knows. He got out of it and granted out a referee stoppage. He stopped the kid in the third round. And it was very nerve-wracking. I was sweating. I was more nervous for him than I have been for any of my fights. And he's fighting again next month in Global Legion in Charlotte.
Oh, wow. Will you be there for that one too?
Yeah, I'll be there for that. He's fighting on the 19th, February 19th in Charlotte. And he's fighting he's fighting another tough guy. I think this guy's like a kickboxer or something. And I'm just proud of my son. My son, he's come a long way. He chose this life, and I'm just going to be there, try to guide him as much as I can possibly can. And I'm not saying that I'll be there in his corner for every fight, but hopefully I can be.
Yeah. How instrumental are you in his coaching? Like, are you coaching him regularly? Is he off on his own doing that stuff?
No, I'm a shit coach, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if you ever seen me on Ultimate Fighter. I did
Yeah, I
two
did.
fucking
Yeah, I saw
seasons.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I ain't no fucking coach, bro. I'm a shit coach, but I teach him the things that work for me because he's a lot like me. His style is like mine, but better. He when he gets into fighting for like after like 5-10 years, he'll be a better fighter than I ever was.
Wow.
And he has the best coach in MMA. He trains with Antonio McKee, the
Oh,
father of
awesome. Yeah.
undefeated AJ McKee.
AJ, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
great camp over there. And finally, this is a real question for you. How many of me would it take to kick your ass? If
How
you
much
put
you
a
weigh?
bunch of 145, 6 foot, 145, still a white belt.
Still a white belt in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
And what we doing? We doing it in a cage, or we like street? I'm walking down the alley and there's a bunch of you. How many? Well, what are we
Yeah.
doing it?
Yeah.
Because
Walking down the alley, there's a bunch of me.
we walk down the alley and there's a bunch of you. I would say a realistic number would probably probably be
A dozen?
only be I'll say it will probably be seven.
7 of me? I'll take that.
Realistic, yeah, realistic seven because I say it because growing up in Memphis, I used to get jumped a lot, and I used to hold my own against four people. I have a strategy. I'm a street fighter first. I'm a brawler. I always told people this. It's always been my fighting style. I'm a brawler, so I'm really good at street fighting, and I have a strategy when you fight more than one guy. And the most people I've ever fought and did well at was four. And when it got to 5 and 6, I wouldn't do as well. So, but you realistically now, since the experience that I got now, back then I didn't know any martial arts. I just knew how to fight. Now that I know martial arts, and I can probably like the first two, I could probably like give y'all some one hit quitters. Because if it's on the street, I'm trying to kill. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably snap a couple of y'all necks.
I was gonna say, if you
But
hit me with a punch, I would die.
yeah, but I honestly, the first couple ones I would probably grab and throw you, try to slam you on your head, kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Snap. Yeah, I'm fighting for my life. I don't know if you guys got guns. What? I don't know. I'm fighting for my life. I'm trying to kill you. Like you got a little skinny neck. I'll probably kill a couple of y'all. Then, you know, if there's 7 of y'all could probably get me. But at least 3 of y'all gonna die.
Well, let me tell you what, cloning becomes a thing. You better watch your back. 7 of me. That's a
Yeah,
pay-per-view I would watch. 7 of me in the triangle, in the triad triangle against you. Come on, tell
I'm
me we
down.
don't sell a million pay-per-views.
Hey, I'm down. It
Call
all
up Ryan
depends.
Kavanaugh.
Tell Ryan Kavanaugh I want 5 million per you per one of your clones. That's
That's
fair,
fair.
right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
and
fair.
And then, you know, if it's in the triad, it's cool. I don't got to kill nobody because, you know, I want to make it to heaven.
We'll sign the
Saying
forms.
that
Yeah.
I never killed anybody. So I'm not looking forward to, you know, breaking that one rule I got. That's
No.
not the only rule I got, but that's one of my most.
You're like Batman.
rules.
You're like, you can't break that one rule. You can't kill.
Yeah, I don't want to kill them, but I will if I have to.
All right.
To save
Fair
my
enough.
life,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, who wouldn't? Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, who would? Who would?
All right, Rampage. This has been a blast. It's great finally getting to talk to you. I've been a big fan of yours for a while. Everyone, check out Triad Combat II, February 26th. Rampage coaching the MMA team. Once again, going to get a big win for us MMA guys. Overboxing. They got it last time. Once again, we're going to get it in two.
Yeah, man, I will tell you guys, make sure y'all tune in to this. Y'all don't want to miss this. This is like the new age sport. Man, I think it's going to be here to stay.
Big names too. Junior Dos Santos, Vitor Belfort. Like, this is huge.
Yeah, this is huge. They're going to get some tough guys. You know, so who knows what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Rampage, thanks for joining the show.
All right, brother.